Hi, this is Trey Baxter. Welcome to my film series review, volume 12. Okay, and I promised I watched today a movie that I've seen before. Let's give you that. Okay, Rear Window, starring James Stewart and Grace Kelly, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, of course. And this came out in 1954. Okay, and basically this is a story of a professional photographer, L.B. Jeffries, played by James Stewart, who breaks his leg. He's a professional photographer. He breaks his leg getting an action shot at an auto race. He's basically confined to his New York apartment to his leg heals. Okay, and he spends his time looking out his rear window, uh, spying on his neighbors, and he has several different neighbors in all different types of apartments. He has, I think, in one of the apartments, he has two young female roommates that live, I think, at the top, and then he has a couple, man and woman. They have a dog. Okay, and they sleep on the fire escape. It's the middle of summer, so of course it's hot. And then they have a songwriter, I think, on another level. And then they have, I think they call her the Miss Torso. She's a dancer, and she practices dancing, of course, in skimpiest of outfits. And I think then you have the sculptor that lives in the basement. And then you have um, um, Lawrence Thornworth, who lives with his bedridden wife, and that's played by Raymond Burr. Okay, and I think you have a newlywed couple too that lives, I think, below the Thornworths. Okay, I think Miss Lonely Hearts that lives in the basement apartment. Okay, I think that's the most of the characters. Anyway, uh, Jeffries is confined to the wheelchair, and he spies on his neighbors, going through their lives and their mundane things. And of course, he has a high society fashion consultant girlfriend played by Lisa Fremont, played by Grace Kelly. Okay, who is basically trying to get him to marry her. They're going out, of course, and he doesn't really want to get married. He feels that they're too different. That he likes to go from place to place at a moment's notice, living out of a suitcase or something. He feels that they're too different, even though obviously they love each other. Okay, and he also has his visiting nurse who comes and gives him the rub and gives him the back rub and stuff and exercises him so he can heal faster with his leg injury. And she comes by and of course she's sassy. Okay, and of course in the course of his spying, he suspects that his neighbor, played by Raymond Burr, Laura Stoneworld, has murdered his wife. Okay, who's bedridden and who he doesn't see in the middle of the night. He hears a scream coming from the apartment and he doesn't see her anymore after that. And so he suspects, after seeing the neighbor go in and out of the apartment all the course of the night, I think at least 3 times through the course of the night, he thinks, of course, that he killed her and murdered her. And he even convinces his girlfriend, Lisa, that this guy's, something's wrong with, this guy, he's murdered his wife. Even convinces Stella to an extent that he did something. So basically, the rest of the movie is him and his girlfriend and the nurse trying to convince he has a buddy, a detective, Thomas Doyle, who was with him in the war. He kind of try to convinces him and gather evidence that this guy murdered his bedridden wife. Okay, that his wife, that didn't just leave, but he actually murdered his wife. And this movie is really interesting because it's also like a character study of different people, because you have the different people in the different apartments and you see them throughout the movie going through their various little dramas. Like Miss Lonely Heart is down there. You even see her getting all dressed up and setting up a table and pouring wine, and you think she's having a date, but she's not really having a date. She's basically Miss Lonely Heart. She's having a date by herself, and you see that she's sad, and you even see a part where she goes out and actually picks somebody up to bring back to her apartment. And then you see the songwriter getting frustrated trying to write his songs, and then you have the Miss Torso, who's the dancer, who has at least 3 bows, and she's and they think that she's hot to trot, and she's having to pick between her choice of men. And then you have the sculptor that lives in the basement or near the basement apartment, who can barely hear, but she sculpts and she's nosy. And then you have the newly couple that moved in, and you have Jimmy Stewart as he's bantering with Lisa, his girlfriend, and he's observing. that various people going on with their life, and also, like I said, you have that the possibility that this guy maybe murdered his wife, and you have that drama going on at the same time. It's a really intriguing movie, Rear Window. Like I said, you could just do a whole movie with just his observations of looking at the people across the way and what they're doing with their lives and stuff. And James Stewart, I thought, was just excellent in the part, and Grace Kelly never looked more beautiful than she did in this movie. Absolutely fantastic. And Thelma Ritter, I think, plays Stella, the nurse. She's hilarious, and she has all these sayings and stuff. And Raymond Burr, who dyed his hair white for this role, looks mysterious, and he's with glasses, and you don't know whether, I guess they made him dye his hair so he can look older and more menacing, But anyway, and I also seen the Hitchcock cameo in this movie. I know where that part is. Okay, it's with the songwriter. Okay, for those who haven't known. Okay, I'm gonna blow that part of it. That's Hitchcock is in the apartment with the songwriter doing one scene in the movie. Okay, that's where Hitchcock's cameo is at in this movie. But anyway, this movie is very intriguing. Like I said, I like the chemistry between Grace Kelly and Jimmy Stewart. Their little banter back and forth, and him trying to convince her that he's really that he's not marriage material. He doesn't want to get married, and they're too different and stuff. But I like Grace Kelly, her resolve, and she's spunky, and she's almost like the perfect girlfriend, because there's even a scene in the beginning of the movie where she comes over to his apartment, and she basically brings dinner and has everything planned out, and she is almost like the perfect girl. She's just consulting, doing that during the day, then taking care of him at night, and she loves him, and she wants to get married, but he thinks they're too different. But like I said, you have that suspense in the movie with them trying to get the clues to convince his buddy that this guy murdered his wife, and you got to do something about it. And it's a really, really good movie. Definitely a great watch, Rear Window. It's been a while since I watched it, and it's good to watch it again. So I'm gonna give Rear Window just an excellent movie, an 8.5. I thought it was just that good. Definitely worth watching. Okay, one of Hitchcock's best films, of course. So that's not saying much. He just has a bunch of great films. So Rear Window. Okay, that's this one. That's what I reviewed. So next week I'll be reviewing The Trouble with Harry, which I don't think I've seen in a. Okay, this one stars Edward Gwynn, John Forsythe, and Shirley MacLaine. Okay, let's see what it says. While no one really minds that Harry's dead, everyone has a different idea of what should be done about it with his body in the quirky mystery starring Shirley MacLaine and John Forsythe. There it is. Like I said, I don't think I've seen this movie. I don't remember that one, so it'd be good to watch that and see what that one's about. The Unexpected from Hitchcock. Okay, so there we go. That'll be the movie that I'll be viewing for next week. So anyway, let me know what you think of Rear Window, if you like it or if you've seen it. If you like this review, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.